and still makes me nervous. Or maybe like once or twice a month is a better way of putting it, maybe. Which is still a lot. It's still a little bit concerning. But here we go. We're jumping in and spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing Gaiman Gladiators. It is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have the Finnish Zerg player, the red Zerg representing Berserker Esports. It is Mixu. We go. Ooh, we have our second semis. And again, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to our ZvZ. Trap is patiently waiting in the grand finals for the winner of this series. And who is it going to be? Will it be our Finnish Zerg or our South Korean? As for the time being, hatch first. It's going to be a hatch gas pool, standard openers for the time being from SHIN and Mixu, and we'll see if either one does decide to skip out on their Bailey Nest and go for 2-base play, or if we head into a third and head into Ling Bane aggression. See what we decide to embrace. So we have the gas pool follow-up. Ah, shout out to the tuna. Ah. Big shout out. Tuna is there. But yeah, I might just only use the Singaporean server moving forward. That might just be the way to approach it. I mean, so far everything's looking smooth. Like there's no issues. No like latency or bandwidth issues to Singapore. That might be the go-to. Now that we have our openers, again, just hatch gas pool, settling in. When it comes to Oceanborn, I mean, the third base can be quite exposed, and we have seen a lot of timing attacks and all-ins here on this map as well in this matchup. Going for kind of like this Solar +1 Carapace, Ling Roach all-in. Cutting Worker suddenly going for a Ling Flood. Aggression is very much so viable on this map, but we'll see. As the initial Lings move out to scout across the map, gonna be the initial Ling scout into a third base, standard opener out of Mixu. Meanwhile, SHIN doing the same, also going for his third. So both players are expanding, both players are calming things down. SHIN, it looks like he was a little bit greedier. Yeah, SHIN, he did skip out on any units in general. No Lings yet, just now on the way. So SHIN was just being that much more greedy. Bailey Nests have been thrown down, and we can now enter the Ling Bane phase of ZvZ. Nobody. Oh, true. Oh. I apologize. But predictions are now open. Get your gamba going in the chat for who you think will claim the series. Sorry, I just again a little bit frazzled as to what happened, so I'm a little bit out of it. Do apologize. But yes, predictions are now open. Get your gamba going. As a reminder, these are going to be predictions for the entire series, not just for the game, but for the series. As we have our follow-up, of course, working towards a Roach Warren. Mixu moving out with his Lings. There are defensive A-Lings on the way. Mixu has to be careful. Behind this is droning. Just applying a bit of pressure. Trying to threaten SHIN and trying to force that extra Ling Bane. Mixu pulls away. Attempting to bait out those Bailings, going for a scout. The Ling is denied. Mixu pulls back. The entire time Mixu has been droning. Mixu does take a slight worker lead, but now SHIN can turn the tables on Mixu, going for his own counterattack. SHIN moving out, going for the mineral line. We'll get one drone. One drone goes down. Bailey's walling in as well. Ooh, trading 2 for 2, going for the Queen. Yeah, the Baileys go down. The Queen gets surrounded. And SHIN gets even more economic damage. Getting a second, oh, not quite the third drone. Barely not. SHIN pulls back. And just like that, the worker count has been evened up. Behind this, SHIN did have the faster Roach Warren. Roach production has begun. Mixu is going to be deflected. Goes to the mineral line, does not get a worker. The Bailey Bailing is spotted. Bailing should be denied. Just barely. Bailing is denied, and Shin is just waddling across the map. He will lose a queen, but he doesn't care. The roaches are moving out, and back at home, Mixu needs a little bit more time. Roaches are coming out just as we speak. The roaches are amassing. No transfuse. It's going to be a close hold here for Mixu. Again, he just needs a little bit more time, but the Lings have arrived, and Shin, he's breaking through. He's snowballing out of control. Gets into the queens, gets into the roaches. And Shin, he has broken the main army. Mixu, he droned up to 52. Was a little bit too greedy, droned up to so many workers. And instead, Shin just pulls the trigger. Boys are being pulled. Lings, they chase down the final roaches. Oh, and at the same time, you're even catching reinforcements as well. Yeah, surrounds the roaches, shuts them down. 19 drone kills. And Shin isn't done. He's not done. GG gets called. Shin will break through and take game number 1. GG. Shin will take the first game, and again, just snowballing out of control, getting amazing damage initially, and of course distracting Mixu while he was building up those roaches, and able to catch Mixu off guard as Mixu did run up to 52, while Shin had cut workers at 40. So Mixu fully saturated his third base. Shin did not. Shin was focusing, of course, on roach ling production instead, and does take a lead. Does take a lead in the series. Now we're getting ready for our next game. Getting ready for that next game. And it looks like it's going to be on Dynasty? Wait, what? What were the vetoes, Papi? We rarely see a ZvZ on Dynasty, so I'm ready for it. Let's go. Let us go. As a reminder as well, after this series, we will be hosting a raffle. There's going to be a random raffle, a random participation raffle, where all the players that did sign up and compete tonight are equally eligible here for 5 USD. Of course, the raffle is rigged, as always, is rigged. We'll get there. As spawning in the top right-hand corner of Dynasty, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Gaimin Gladiators, leading the series 1-0. 1 game away from making it to the grand finals. It is SHIN. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the Finnish Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Berserker Esports. It is Mixu. Down in the series, we'll see if he can bounce back. And on a map like Dynasty, I'm ready. I'm excited. Oh wait, he's going for the goal. He is headed towards the goal base. I mean, both players should. Now, when it comes to Dynasty, against Terran and Protoss players, Zerg players cannot take this gold, as we're seeing here, but against themselves, against other Zergs, they can. The reason for this is that this base is often punished and taken advantage of by range-based units, by Hellions, Reapers, Adepts, Stalkers, Oracles, anything and everything that can shoot from across the wall. But in ZvZ, you start with Ling Bane. You start with melee units, so your Ling Bane can't really touch this, can't really apply too much pressure on the gold, so you can mine freely. Once roaches come into play, it's a different story, but then it comes down to whoever has map control. So both players will race into that gold, and we'll see how aggressive both SHIN and Mixu will be with this. Let's go. Here we go, as SHIN is going to be main-nighting over towards the gold, take advantage of it. Does pull the boys, likewise so should Mixu. Mixu a little bit later to get up to saturation here, but should be soon doing so. There we go, does pull the boys now. Roach Warren has been thrown down. And Mixu is going to be rushing into roaches here instead. Okay, very interesting. So Mixu's going for a roach rush. Meanwhile, SHIN back at home going for a fast Evo chamber. Now with this Evo chamber, he can go into +1 melee and go into a Ling Flood. He can go into +1 carapace and go into like a more delayed like Ling roach aggression. I'm picturing +1 melee, but we'll see what SHIN... Yeah, there it is. +1 melee is on the way. It is going to be a link flood, which makes sense, taking full advantage of the gold. As he is fully saturated. Third base on the way for Larva. And Shin is going to be droning off for the time being, at least saturating his main, but we'll be focusing on that link production. Now, the way this lines up is that both link speed and +1 melee are lined up with each other. They should finish up at around the same time. It's going to be very strong timing. Queen's getting in position to wall off, to deny a scout. Oh, and Shin is taking a second gas geyser, and he's going into roaches himself as well. Okay, interesting. So it's going to be Ling Roach aggression here. I'm a little bit surprised this wasn't +1 Carapace instead, which can help benefit both the Lings and the Roaches. So an interesting choice here by Shin. Meanwhile, Mixu morphs in the first Ravager. Let's go here to deny mining at the gold. Shin is he's massing up more Lings. Okay. I was like, where's the Ravager going? There we go. It does reveal itself. Going for the mineral line, forcing Shin to pull away to Maynard over towards the right-hand side. Same time, Lynx is still building up. Roaches are on the way as well. And Shin is going all in. Shin is cutting workers at 28. And he will catch these Ravagers. Yeah, both Ravagers will be surrounded, will be shut down. Bailing is waddling in. Oh my god. Yeah, the Bailing is baited out. And Mixu's getting shut down. Another Bailing has arrived. Likewise is going to be taken out by one Ling. And Shin pulls the trigger. Shin is going to be flooding across the map. A +1 Carapace now on the way. Shin going for this round. +1 melee is done. It will catch both Roaches. At the same time, Roaches also hit the gold. Yeah, both Roaches are shut down. Gold base under fire. Oof. It's going to be 4 drones falling. Ravagers now being morphed in. More Lings flooding across the map. Shin is all in. The longer this goes on, the harder it's going to be for him. And he does deny the Bailings. Yeah, the Bailings are denied. The Roaches are caught out in the open as well. As Mixu gets surrounded, and Shin will take the series 2-0. GG. Shin does take a GG. Well played. I mean, it was an interesting build here, an interesting setup on Dynasty. We very rarely get to see these ZvZs on this map, or I say ZvZs, just games in general on Dynasty are quite rare. So always a treat to see. And again, Mixu unfortunately just was unaware of how aggressive Shin was being. If he was aware, there's no reason to be out on the map. There's no reason for those Roaches to be out in the open like that. As Mixu did have the economic lead, did have a massive economic advantage, but again, he just didn't know how all in his opponent was being. GG, well played. Shin will take the series, will advance on, and now we have our 2 finalists. It's going to be a best-of-5 grand finals between Shin and Trap. Let's go. We have our best-of-5. We just need a moment to set things up and to get things going. And before the grand finals, as a reminder, we have a very special event. We have the raffle. It's Rifa time. Let's go.